All right, today we're jumping into a really powerful, bite-sized story from one of the world's oldest epics, the Mahabharata. It's a wild tale about prayer, immense power, and a storm that could literally end the world. Let's get right into it. So, let's start with this line from the text because it's so dramatic. The sky looked as if the end of the Yuga had come. Now, in Hindu cosmology, a Yuga isn't just a year, it's a colossal cosmic age, an entire era of the world. So when the story says this, it's telling us that what's happening feels like the end of time itself. The universe hitting the reset button. The big question is, how did we get to this world-ending moment?
Well, you might be surprised to hear that it all starts not with a bang, but with a prayer. The seeds of this great, world-drowning flood are actually planted in a simple, quiet act of worship from a mother to a god.
Okay, so to get our bearings, let's do a quick who's who of the two key players here. First, we have Kadru. She's the mother of the Nagas, or the serpents. And the one she's praying to? That would be Indra, the powerful king of the Devas, the gods. He's the big boss when it comes to thunder and rain, a force that can, both give life and bring complete and utter destruction.
So, picture the scene. Kadru is singing praises, totally lost in her worship of Indra. It's a moment of pure devotion, a plea from a mother aimed straight at the heavens. But what happens when a god as powerful as Indra actually hears a plea like that?
This is where things escalate fast. Kadru's worship is heard, and Indra, the king of the gods, decides to respond. And let's just say his response is going to be anything but subtle.
And you can see this terrifying chain reaction play out. It's a straight line from cause to a truly massive effect. Kadru's praise pleases Indra, and because he's pleased, he commands the clouds to do their thing, and the clouds obey. The deluge is unleashed.
And this is his exact command. Let fall your sacred and life-giving rain. Now, you really got to hang on to those words, sacred and life-giving, because the rain that Indra is about to unleash is going to prove that creation and destruction are often two sides of the very same coin.
And here we go. This is the climax of our story. The full, terrifying force of a divine storm is unleashed upon the entire world.
The first sign of the chaos. The sky isn't just getting dark, it's coming alive, crackling with raw, divine electricity.
And then comes the sound. The text says the clouds were roaring at one another, as if they were these giant, mythical beasts battling it out in the sky. It's a total sensory overload, and it's just getting started.
I mean, the chaos was just overwhelming. Violent winds were tearing across the land. A pitch-black darkness fell, so complete that not a single ray of light from the sun or the moon could break through. The sky itself, it says, seemed to dance madly. This wasn't just a rainstorm. This was the complete deconstruction of the natural order.
So, after all that cosmic fury, what was the result? Was this just pure destruction for destruction's sake? Let's move into the aftermath and see how this whole thing resolves.
So here's the crucial twist. Despite the apocalyptic nature of the storm, for the ones it was intended for, the Nagas, it was salvation. That life-giving rain, which seemed so destructive, actually revived the serpents. They weren't terrified. The text says they were overjoyed. What threatened to end the world was, for them, a blessing in disguise.
But make no mistake, the entire world paid the price for this divine favor. The text is very clear. The earth itself was completely covered by waves and waves of water. The whole landscape was just gone, totally transformed by this deluge.
And in the end, Kadru's prayer is answered. She and her children, the Nagas, ride this world-altering flood all the way to safety, arriving at their destination, an island called Ramaniyaka. The storm, as crazy as it was, served its purpose.
This leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. This story uses a terrifying, world-ending storm not just for cheap thrills, but to actually deliver salvation. It's both an end and a new beginning. It really makes you wonder, how often do these ancient stories use the awesome power of nature to explore that timeless cycle of destruction and rebirth? Definitely something to chew on.